Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we are starting a new journey into one of the most beautiful parts of literature, prose. If you ever read a story in a book, a chapter in a novel, or even a newspaper article, that's prose. We'll explore the 6 core elements and also the hidden supportive elements that make a story rich and meaningful. Let's begin our journey. First, let's look at what means by a prose. Prose is simply ordinary writing, the kind we use when we speak or write normally. It is sentences and paragraphs, not rhymes or line breaks like poems. Prose feels natural, just like talking to a friend. Stories, essays, novels all come under prose. Prose is like a big tree with many branches. Some branches carry fiction, stories that come from a writer's imagination. Other branches carry nonfiction, writing based on real life. Real people, real events. We also get short stories, novels, essays, biographies, autobiographies, letters, and diaries. Each one has its own flavor and style. Just like a tree makes different fruits, prose gives us different forms of writing. Why do we love prose? Because it feels real and human. It uses simple language, tells stories smoothly, introduces people, places, emotions. It can make us laugh, cry, imagine, dream, like living inside the story. Next, we move to elements of prose. Every prose piece is built like a house. Characters are like the people who live in it. Setting is where the house is built. Village, city, past or present. Plot is what happens inside the story. Theme is the message hidden like a treasure inside. And point of view is the window we look through. First person, third person, and style is the writer's unique way of decorating the house. The tone, the word choice, the imagery that makes the story beautiful. Now that we know the 6 core elements of prose, let's explore each one a little deeper. And as we go through them, I'll also show you the supportive techniques that make every element stronger. Things like dialogue, imagery, symbolism, and more. So let's begin with the very first building block of any story, characters. In prose, the very heart of the story is its characters. These are the people who think, feel, and act inside the world of the story. We understand them through their traits. Whether they are kind, rude, stubborn, brave, jealous, or confused. We also look at their motivation, which means why they behave the way they do. A very important part of characters is their relationships. How they connect with each other as friends, enemies, family members, or even rivals. These relationships create emotion and conflict in the story. Writers build characters through characterization. Their actions, speech, and thoughts. Dialogue reveals their personality, emotions, and relationships with others. Sometimes, we enter their minds through inner monologue, where their private thoughts are shown directly. Characters also face conflicts, either with others or inside themselves. And writers often show contrast between characters. highlighting differences in personality, values, or beliefs. Together, these details make characters feel real, relatable, and memorable. Strong characters pull the reader into the world of the story. Now, let's move to the world around those characters, the setting. Next comes the setting, the complete world in which the story exists. It includes the time period. Whether the story happens in the past, present, or future. It also includes the place, such as a village, a city, a battlefield, or a forest. We also look at the social background, the culture, class, customs, and lifestyle of the characters. The setting creates the mood or atmosphere. Whether peaceful, scary, warm, or tense. Writers often use imagery and descriptive details to make the environment vivid. Even the pace of the scene, fast or slow, can be influenced by the setting. Altogether, setting shapes the character's behavior, emotions, and actions. Now that we know the place, let's see what happens in the story, the plot. Now we come to the plot, the entire chain of events that makes up the story. It begins with the introduction of characters and setting, rises through problems and complications, reaches the climax, slows during the falling action where we see the results, and finally settles into a resolution as the story comes to a close. Conflict drives the plot forward. The story becomes exciting through rising action and reaches its emotional peak at the climax. Writers build depth using flashbacks, which take us back to earlier events, and foreshadowing, where small hints prepare readers for what is coming. They also create suspense, keeping readers curious and engaged. Sometimes plot uses irony, where events turn out differently from what we expect. The pace of events, fast or slow, also affects tension. Together, these techniques form the skeleton that carries the whole story. But plot is not enough. A story must say something deeper. Let's explore theme. The theme is the deeper message of the story. What the writer wants us to think about or learn. It may be about love, jealousy, family, war, society, hope, or human nature. Writers strengthen the theme through symbolism, where objects, characters, or actions carry deeper meanings. They also use motifs, which are small repeated ideas, or symbols that point back to the main meaning. Another powerful technique is allusion, where the writer refers to history, religion, myth, or literature to deepen the meaning. It can deal with love, jealousy, family, war, poverty, or other social issues. Writers also explore philosophical ideas about life, morality, or society. Themes help readers connect the story to real life and to themselves. Narration also changes how we experience the theme. Let's look at point of view. Point of view is the angle from which the story is told. In first person, the narrator uses I and shares personal feelings. In third person limited, we follow one character closely. In third-person omniscient, the narrator knows everything about every character. Sometimes stories use stream of consciousness, showing the natural flow of thoughts. We also study the narration itself, the style and attitude of the storyteller. This includes the narrative voice. It may sound childish, humorous, formal, serious, or philosophical. Another important idea is reliability. Whether the narrator is truthful, biased, or hiding something. Point of view decides how much we know, how we feel, and how we experience the story. Finally, let's explore style, the writer's special way of writing. Style is the writer's personal voice, the way they choose to express the story. One part of style is tone, which shows the writer's attitude, such as angry, sad, funny, joyful, sarcastic, or serious. The writer's diction, or word choice, also matters. Whether the language is simple or complex, formal or informal. Sentence structure changes the rhythm of the writing. Short sentences add speed, while long ones add depth. Writers also use figurative language like similes, metaphors, personification, and even irony to create beauty and emotion. Imagery paints pictures in our minds using sensory details. Finally, writers use juxtaposition, placing opposite ideas or images side by side to create a strong effect. All these elements combine to create the unique flavor of the writing. The part that makes one writer's work different from another's. Prose helps us grow. It strengthens our language, widens our mind, and teaches us lessons about life. We meet new characters, walk into new worlds, and learn different ways of thinking. It makes us better readers and better people. Let's close our lesson with a simple reminder. So today, we learned the 6 core elements of prose and the supportive techniques that help us understand stories deeply. Thank you for being here. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more simple and friendly English literature lessons.